Hello. Um, Welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. It's Saturday. We're back to building Gundam. We had a little bit of a break there where we didn't work Gundam yesterday. If you were joining me for that, it was the first ever bonus Build with Bear. It was a bonus stream where we watched me play Hearthstone. And I talked about some of that, and there were a few people in the chat who didn't really play the game, so I hope I was helpful with that. But really, I wanted to do an extra stream because I didn't stream it all last week, but I didn't want to do 3 straight days of building. So we did a little bonus. Will I ever do that again? Probably. I had some issues with that, but I think I can work it out for the next stream. Just quickly before we start getting into our build, if anyone in chat could just let me know if you hear me all right. Got a few people in chat there. I'm assuming a few more will pop in as we go. But if anyone wouldn't mind jumping into the old chat there and just let me know, hey, sounds good, or is a little quiet, or is very loud. That would be very helpful. So we'll give you a second for the stream to catch up to me because there's a little bit of delay. And then hopefully one of the 4 of y'all that's written there at this very moment can just pop into the old chat and type out, hey, it sounds great. We'll give it just a second for that before we get going on our build. All right. So nobody yet is typing in the chat. Speaking of chat, I'm going to type in the chat. I'm going to type the emote you get when you're a subscriber. The exclusive Bear Cave emote. No one else has that unless you are a subscriber to the Bear Cave. So yeah, if any one of these viewers here would mind, if somebody's in chat just hopping in and saying, hey, it sounds awesome. I mean, if I have to, I'll just turn on the stream and hear the audio there, but I don't want to do that. Well, I will though. Just another second. So I'll say this while we're waiting. Oh, Melon Pan. It sounds awesome. Great. Thank you so much. That's all I needed to know. Just make sure it sounded good. So we are working, as you can see in the bottom here, working on the Master Gundam from G Gundam. So this is Master Grade. So it's a Master Grade Master. So they give you little things that are approaching trying to look like joints, like if this was a real skeleton of a big mech. So they have the little pieces that these pieces are going to attach there to act like, I guess, like to act like tendons or joints or something. But it doesn't want to stay put. So hopefully once I put the piece in here to connect the two, this top part won't pop out anymore. I don't know. So this is a full leg. Now, if you watch the stream on Thursday, you saw me put some of this together, but not all of it. And I did a little building off stream because I don't know if you can see here, there are screws. And screws don't make great video because you have to be very patient with it. So when we get to the other leg, which we will tonight, it will be annoying. But I didn't want to start the stream with me hunched over using my screwdriver. As always, tools of the trade, screwdriver. That is an old screwdriver, so the tip is kind of worn down, which is great for tiny screws because tiny screwdrivers fall out of my big, stupid hands. We've got our snipper clips right here. As always, our snipper and clippers. And we've got a coarse sanding stick because sandpaper is stupid. So why not go to the craft store, get yourself a stick, or Amazon, or whatever. So yeah, we're building our Master Grade Gundam. We have already completed 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 shoulders. Those are done. I'm putting them aside. We've got the bottom part of our other foot. We've completed 1 leg. We're going to finish the outer armor shell of this leg. That's the next couple steps. Then we'll work on the other leg, and we'll finish that up. I expect to finish up the other leg and start working on, I don't know, the head or the torso. What's the head and body are next, so we'll be able to go to that. There's a nice little table here on the side of these sheets. I want to be careful. I have my screws that I'll need later already laid out here because that's the safest space for them, and hopefully I won't lose them while we're doing this. That's the goal anyway. So if anybody was in a chat yesterday, they know that I did a Hearthstone stream. I was very happy with that stream. I learned a lot doing it. It's the first time I ever streamed a video game, so it was very cool to get in and do some of that. And I hope that people liked it. I certainly enjoyed doing it. I think it was a successful stream. Um, Audio didn't turn out that great, mainly because I was, streaming this. Like, I have two cameras, right? That's a lot, but I'm doing this wirelessly, and my audio comes through just fine. But I was wired, and I was running like two monitors, and my laptop was chugging along with Hearthstone and an overlay, and it ended up having less than ideal audio, um, which I'm annoyed about, and I wish wasn't the case, but was the case. So next time I will do my best to make sure that that does not happen. Great. Okay. And if you ever have issues here, if it ever sounds choppy or it's cutting in and out, please let me know. I'm not hearing myself in my headphones. I could set that up, but in OBS, but right now I don't have that. Um, so if anything ever sounds wonky to y'all, just pop in a chat and let me know. Or if you're getting a lot of stalls or delays or anything like that. I might be pushing it a little bit. This is the third day in a row that I'm streaming, and also I had to upload like a 5 gig file like 6 times. Um, those that know me from doing stuff at PAX know that I have been doing. Oh, they want us to do this armor twice. I don't want to do it twice. I'll do it later. I'll do that part later. So C4 and D4. Um, yeah, those that know that PAX know that I do 404ing it, which is the show where I show awesome stuff from the internet and I have guests and we celebrate how cool the internet is. It's like Tosh.0 if Tosh.0 was a nice show made by people that wanted to talk about how nice things are on a TV show. So I got the video of that back. I had to wait on it for a little while, but I got the video of that panel and it'll go up on Monday. So those that weren't there live that wanted to see that panel can see it. D3 and C3. That's convenient. So yeah, so that panel will go live on Monday. I went out to my Kickstarter backers on I think yesterday. Yesterday I sent it out to Kickstarter backers. But yeah, all that's to say, I had to upload a lot of video because I had to get the YouTube version up, and then I had to get a version up for my backers in a different method because I got content ID'd. And luckily, none of the footage so far, all of the footage will play everywhere, but eventually it might be that I might have to take the video down and then re-upload it with a segment missing because sometimes content providers don't just want ads, they just don't want you to do it. And even though my show is transitive in nature, transformative, not transitive, transformative in nature, it is a different experience. I still have to be careful about what gets shown and what doesn't, and sometimes it's just easier to go and delete a segment and then say, well, you had to be there. You had to see it live if you wanted to see it. Come to PAX if you want to see all of 404 it. But I always try to endeavor to make sure that's not the case, that people can see it if they want. Having a little trouble with this piece, just doesn't want to slot in the way I want it to. There we go. Great. So we got some A's. We got some A's. I've got some E's first. We're going to get some A's and some E's. We'll get the A pieces out, and then we'll do E. So those of you in chat, if there's anything, you got any questions about the stream we did yesterday, got any build questions for me? Oh, I always like to ask this. If you're building something today, if you're listening or watching the stream while you're painting minifigs or you're building a Lego kit or you're doing any kind of work, let me know what you're up to. I always like knowing what people in chat are into and what they're building. So yeah, if you're building something, let me know. Otherwise, I'll keep just talking while I build. It is my MO. But yeah, if there's anybody that has anything they want to get going and let me know about, feel free to do that. This is the third day in a row of me streaming, so I've kind of run out a little bit of conversation. I've got a couple things I wouldn't mind chatting about, but if there's any prompts from the chat room, that would be cool. I will say, as far as streaming goes, I enjoyed yesterday's stream. I don't want to become a Hearthstone streamer. That's not my deal. That opens me up to having to be um, good at Hearthstone, which I'm not. I'm okay at it. I know how to play it. I'm just not super skilled at it. I think I hit rank 18 today. Played a little bit just for funs. Just my day off. Thought I would play a little Hearthstone in my off time, and I love it. But yeah, I'm not ready to become a Hearthstone streamer. I think that's I'll save that for other folks. Okay, so what's happening here, right? So we've got these pieces here. We're gonna carefully snap these on and snap these other little pieces on as well, which gives them a little freedom of movement while we do it. So we'll do this, and I'm going to try to be careful about it and do it right. This doesn't suck, but I'll say I'm not looking forward to doing this other leg. I didn't love, this is my least favorite part of the build. I did not love doing it when we did it for the Shining Gundam, which is also from G Gundam. Did not enjoy that, and I don't particularly enjoy this piece either. In fact, this will probably be the last thing we do from G Gundam. I really like G Gundam, so I've always been excited to work on builds from that show. But overall, I'm not thrilled about it. So if I could not do this again, I probably would choose not to do this again and work on other kits. I'm not going to say what our next kit is because we still have so much left to build on this one. But I am thinking to the next kit, and it will certainly not be from G Gundam. And I don't think any of them ever again will be from G Gundam. Who knows? Maybe I'll make the God Gundam. That thing is insane. If my numbers start increasing and I start getting a lot more subscribers and the funds start increasing, maybe I'll splurge and get the God Gundam because that thing is stupid big. But I can't say for certain that's going to happen. I'll talk about subscribers a little bit. You're here on Twitch. If you are if you're a subscriber, if you have a Twitch Prime because you have Amazon Prime, then maybe you could use your token for me. Certainly don't have to. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to make anybody, not going to demand people subscribe, but it does help me buy model kits and stuff like that. Also, you get this first month off, half off, and Twitch takes the cut, so I don't lose any money if that's something you thought you would like to do. It looks like my Streamlab. Oh, no, it is. There it goes. Pale Kaylee. Pale Kaylee? It's not Pale Kale. It's Pale Kaylee. Thank you for following. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, if you want to follow, that would be awesome. That definitely helps me out. Also, if you've been watching ads and you have cheer for any streamer, myself included, if you cheer us, the portion that Twitch would take instead goes to Extra Life. And so you give cheers and use the hashtag charity, then that goes to Extra Life, and the streamer still gets their cut, and Twitch just gives up their cut in the same way that if you subscribe and pay real money, your first month is half off, and it comes out of Twitch and doesn't come out of the streamer, which is pretty cool. All right. So that took way too long to put that together, but we put that together. That piece is good. I now don't have to think about these stupid joints that I don't like. Hooray. Totally unnecessary, but still pretty cool. All right, let's put some armor on here. Put some armor in there, yeah. So yeah, so if you end up ever having a free dollar or two and thought that you would like to support a streamer, I'm never gonna say no to that. It would be cool, but never under any obligation to subscribe. There's a donation button, all that stuff. Donation button goes to a Ko-fi and allows me to buy more kits more easily because I don't expect we'll be done. We're definitely not done today. I don't think we're going to be on Thursday, but next Saturday we might be done. So before next Saturday, I have to buy a backup kit. The next thing we'll build, and it'll be another Gundam. We'll do another Gundam. I'm going to take a break on Lego. It was really fun to do Lego, but they're very quick builds and expensive. So I'm going to wait a little while before I start building another Lego kit, just because that didn't take long at all. It took like 2 streams to build that. I need it to be 3 streams or more. All right, so we're putting some armor on here. Didn't quite snap in the way it should. It's mostly because of the way we cut this apart looks like. We'll just move on, and I will take care of that later. All right, so we got that part done. We can put this on here. Just looking at that. I like to just see where it's supposed to go so that when I snap it in, I don't have to fudge it too much. You know what I mean? Thanks for everybody who's just joining us. We got a few more people popping into chat to watching the stream. Feel free to talk. Let me know in chat if you're building anything today, or if you're just kicking back and enjoying yourself. We're working on the Master Gundam from G Gundam, a series I do not necessarily recommend because I don't think it holds up. But I know that some people still really like it, so I'm not trying to take that away from them. But for me, like the sub is the subtitled version of G Gundam is on Crunchyroll now, and yeah, I don't know if it holds up. It's just too racist, I guess is the way I can say it, because it plays with people from different countries. You're representing their countries, and should all be in good fun, but isn't always. I'm having a little trouble here. It doesn't seem to. Okay, that looks better. Great. All right, we got it. Yeah, Melipan, you're right. It is. So the idea of taking ideas from cultures to like theme it, like, oh, this is from here and this is from that. Like, there's definitely something awesome about it, and I love fighting series. I love tournament series. So like, in that regard, I was totally invested and interested in it. But like, don't make the Netherlands Gundam like a windmill. Like, don't do that. Like this Master Gundam, he's Master Asia is his name, and he rides a horse and he has a whip. And I'm like, all right, that sounds awesome. Like that doesn't bother me at all. Like that sounds very cool. So, wait, do we have some issues here, guys? Do we have some? Might have had some issues there. If anybody had some issues with the upload there, it will be fine in the YouTube archive, but I guess the stream got a little wonky there. I apologize for that. Like I said, I did stream 3 days in a row, and it could be that my internet is just mad at me. So hopefully that's not the case. So let's look at this. Okay. All right, so we got some pieces. We're going to continue to build our outer shell here. So we'll get into that. C, B, and D, of course. All the pieces. Oh, Zorbs, I missed that. I apologize. Mechs are so cool. You want to build one? They are expensive. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's the thing about Gundam that I do really like. I mean, obviously, yes, obviously they're expensive, but for my taste, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get hours of enjoyment out of it, right? My streams are an hour and a half. If it takes 4 streams, that's a month of me, or sorry, that's 2 weeks of me working on it. That seems just fine. When it starts getting to be shorter, that's why the Lego stuff. Like I love Lego model kits. I want to buy a bunch of Lego, but I can't afford to buy Lego, so I'm not gonna buy Lego. Gonna refresh the stream here. Just take a second here. Apologize for the delay. All right, okay, back in the chat room. Everything's good. Just had to refresh the dashboard because that looked a little wonky. I apologize for that. Okay. So yeah, if you ever have issues, ever my upload speeds are getting weird or something goes wrong, or it feels bad, I am recording all of these and they go up on my YouTube channel, so that might be an option for people. I have to work on getting better internet here in my home, but that is often easier said than done. I am actually working on that, but we'll see. All right, so then C10. Okay, here. But yeah, so if I ever have issues here in the where it's hard to kind of keep up with what's going on because my stream is behind or delayed or just plain not working, always, you have the option of watching it on YouTube after the fact. But then we can't chat. I will remind folks that I have an emote. If you're a subscriber, you get this cool emote in chat. Zorbs, you're asking how big is the box that came in? I'll show you the box. I don't got a problem with that. So the box is this big. It's a good size. When everything's done and it's just a few things, I keep the box and it's way too big. But for when you had to ship all these pieces, it makes total sense. Yeah, like that size. Yeah, I don't want to lose anything there. So it's a pretty big box. Zorbs. It's not small by any means. Um, when you start dealing with like perfect grade, which hey, I'm never gonna build a perfect grade kit on the stream. I'll just go ahead and say it. That's too intense for me to do while trying to have a conversation. I would break so many tiny, delicate, amazing pieces. But a perfect grade box is like the size of this table. Um, they're enormous boxes because there's so many pieces, and also they're like 144 scale. So in my archive, this is a 1/100. 1/144 is the bigger scaled ones. That's my Gundam Death Sight that I built last. That is big. So you've got 3 grades. You got high grade, you got master grade, and you got perfect grade. Perfect grade they added. Perfect grade is incredibly expensive, beautiful nonsense. This is the master grade. That's you're gonna have some screws. You're gonna have lots of pieces that make pieces. High grades are the lower tier for as far as these snap builds. And when it comes to high grade, you're just like, uh, here's half the leg. Here's the other half of the leg. And a lot of high grade uses these rubber pieces as connectors, whereas in this, a lot of them are snapped together, and then there might be some rubber, but a lot of it is like plastic going into plastic. So this would be it's still going to go into a rubber piece in the torso, but there'd be a lot more rubber involved in a high grade than you're going to find in a master grade. I like doing master grades. That's like the perfect grade for me. Um, that was poor choice of words. Master grade is the grade I like to work in. That is the ideal grade. When you start talking about the other grades, that gets a little bit too much for my liking. All right. So we'll see if we can get this together in a reasonable manner. Okay, that snapped on very easily. Appreciate that. This goes on here. I bet this just feels like one of those pieces that's just going to fall off all the time. Like I have the vibe right, I think. There's a bunch of like little pieces sometimes that just like to pop off. Yes, Zorb. So this is all snapped together. Now you might want to do glue as a finishing touch. Like if you have a pose you like, you might want to do glue. Like I said, this little piece here could be one of those random pieces that likes to pop off. Sometimes pieces like to pop off. But hopefully that is not the case. But you should never have to use glue. Sometimes you do, like the joints might not just be right. Like one of the legs likes to pop off, and you just put a little dab of glue in there to kind of keep it together. Hopefully you don't have to do that, but sometimes you got to. It's just part of it, unfortunately. All right, so we'll put that down there. Great. All right, and then that was supposed to go on before that, so I hope that it works. Oops. Real quick, we're putting just this weird piece on the kneecap, I guess. You would call that a kneecap? I don't know. It's weird. It's just a weird piece. It's on there. And then this goes back on. There we are. We put it on too early, and now we can put it on right. And match it up as best I can. Just going off the photos. As always, these are in Japanese, and you just do your best to snap them in place where they're supposed to be based on the information and numbers. And just kind of get it, snap it on there. Great. So we did it. Yeah, and so no glue required, which is awesome. And then, yeah, we're building, I believe that's the end of this leg. So this leg is done. We got a leg done, which is great. We'll put it with our arms so we can look over at our progress and feel better about how long it took. It's only a half an hour in, so that's good. All right, so now we're going to build up the foot. We're going to go for the foot up. We did this 2 days ago. So some of this will eventually feel like second nature, but not all of it, because you only can remember so much. Now that we've done the arms and the legs, I'm starting to get a good feel for where the pieces are and what numbers the pieces are. That's always a good sign. It means I'm moving quickly. I can kind of sort through these because they are semi-color coded, but because the instructions are in black and white, you can't really use that as a guide. You have to just kind of like know which pieces you want. So I need some F, I need some C, and we'll pop those out. Even if I had a bigger desk, I would still probably do all my snipping and building right on top of the instructions because it's just like a good surface to do that, I find. All right, so we're at C, so we need C 26 and 27. Yeah, if there's any other questions in the chat, feel free to ask. I talked a little bit about, I always talk about the anime I'm watching. I am still, I watched it again, the latest episode of New Game Season 2, so that is 2 exclamation points in Season 2 of New Game. And yeah, I'm just disappointed in the season overall. I knew when they introduced new characters, they would pull back from some of the current characters. But they've also like increased like Yoon, who's my least favorite character in the first season. I like her more now than I did then. But like Hifume is not there, and she rules, and like she's like just like one of those characters that like is just trying to improve herself. Like she's very soft spoken and doesn't like confrontation and doesn't really like talking to people. But through the course of wanting to be a better employee and a better friend to her coworkers, she's like trying to change and get better. And you get little moments of her, but I want more of that character. That's the character I like more than other characters. Um, and I don't really care about either of these new characters that got introduced. I kind of liked one, and then she got like weirdly competitive, and it's fine. I'm not mad at competitive characters, but I was like, no, I don't care. I just overall don't care if what she's up to. All right, so is this E? Oh, I'm on E, not F. I was like, why is this wrong? I had the wrong cheat, which will explain why I didn't have the right pieces that I needed. Yeah, so that's the bit of anime talk. I'm waiting for this season of to be over. I'm halfway through My Hero Academia. I finished after the tournament, so that I can watch a bunch at once because I kind of like doing it that way. Um, no disrespect to those that just keep up to date every episode, of course. For that show, I like to binge that show. I don't like watching it week to week, so I don't. Um, then what else? Something else I'm watching. Um, I'm behind from PAX on a few things, so I am not up to date on Restaurant from Another World, which is has an overall plot, but you don't need to each episode is pretty self-contained, and I got a little bored with it, but I'll probably binge through the rest of it. I'll finish it. It won't be like Himiko Note. Hinako Note was a show that was on last season that it was like this girl uh, who sometimes is frozen so solid that she's like a scarecrow that moves to the city in order to join to go to like high school and join the drama club at her high school or college, I can't remember, and because she saw them perform and she's like, that's how I want to get over my stage fright. Um, and then she like moves in with some weirdos, and it's fun, but I just like kind of bounced off of it and just never went back. And maybe someday I'll go back to it. It's still my queue, but I was just like, I don't care about this show, so I kind of just like let it die in my queue. Uh, Let me share something I like to binge too. Yeah, I mean, like a tournament is hard to watch every week. A tournament is awesome to be like, I have 3 hours. I'm going to watch a bunch of My Hero Academia and see how everyone does. I feel like that's how I feel about action shows. I was week to week towards the end of Naruto because it was a bunch of my friends were watching, and so it was like being part of the conversation, and I wanted to keep up. But most of my friends that watch anime, we have very different tastes, so we don't run into a lot of that. Like, one of my friends is really into Knights and Magic, and I think it's bad. Um, so I'm not watching Knights and Magic, and she is. So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, you watch what you want to watch. Let me know if it gets great. Um, but she's not watching In Another World with my cell phone, which is kind of a similar plot. Hers has mechs in it, but I don't really like the mech design. And mine is just wish fulfillment. It's just a fantasy show. It's not great. I bring it up, but like I'm not saying go out and watch In Another World with my cell phone. I think this last episode was kind of funny. There was a couple moments where like the guy was like, oh, you'll never attack this person. You have a strong connection to this person. Ha ha ha. And then that guy got shot by our hero because the hero's like, I don't know him. Uh, it was pretty good. That show is okay. All right. All right. So we're getting our foot together. We're going to put, We're going to finish up putting some pieces on here. Oh, we're getting into screws. Screws are coming up, so I'm bracing myself for that. That's my least favorite part of this build so far, has been doing work with screws. All right, that's C2. So let's see, 6. Nope. Okay. This is D5. 4. Not on that one. Pardon me while I find the pieces that I need. Here's a D5, so I got that. And then C6 is what I need next. Just over here. So yes, obviously, if I had a bigger table, then I would have all of these sheets spread out in alphabetical order instead of stacked up on this little table next to me. Right now, we're working out of my bedroom, and I'm doing the best I can with what I have. But yeah, if anybody's watching any anime this season, let me know what you're watching. I always like finding out new stuff, even if it's on Anime Strike. I don't have access to Anime Strike right now, but I had it briefly because Danmakai or Damaki, the side story for that was out, and I really wanted to watch that. And then there was also a series about a cool tiger beast man walking around with this crazy magician girl. That was pretty cool last season. And eventually I'll probably watch Gamers. I don't know. It's like supposed to be about a game club, but it looked like a lot of it was about the main character being really into a dude and really wanting to she really wanting to end up with that guy and the hijinks of that, and I just didn't have it in me. So yeah, I'm not watching Gamers, but I know a couple people are watching it and seem to like it. So maybe I'll watch it when it's done. I don't know. It just didn't strike my fancy, and I really only want like 3 or 4 shows a week because I am a busy person. So I'm kind of at this point just saying I'm being pretty choosy about what I watch. I also like to go back to stuff, you know. I generally enjoy going back and watching old shows. I just watched the first half of, so I think the first 5, maybe 6 episodes recently. I did a rewatch of Problem Children are Coming to Our World, I think it's called. I don't know. It was a cool show, but the second half wasn't as good as the first half. So I only watched the first half storyline. But I liked it. It was this kind of it was a show where a lot of betting and duels happened, and these 3 amazing people with extraordinary abilities came from their world, which was versions of our world, to this magical land and help people out. And one of the dudes was basically a god, and nobody ever explained why. But it was a cool show. I liked all the lore of it. And then the second half, they kind of wrote out one of the characters. They were she's poisoned because she was just not powerful enough. I don't know. And there was a giant mech that was pretty cool, but other than that, it wasn't that good. The second half of it. And there's also only I want to say 10 episodes of it, which is weird. I find that very strange. Hey everybody joining us. We got a few new viewers popping in. 8 o'clock might be a little early for folks, I guess. Now that we're getting a little later, we're getting some more folks joining us in chat, which I'm always happy to have you. We are working on the Master Gundam from G Gundam. I've got a lot of pieces happening here. We're working on the leg. We got the foot done, and we're going to build up our leg, and it sucks. I say that only because I know that I've got screws that have to be attached to things coming, and I don't want to do it. That is the problem with this, with the G Gundam model kits from this branch of the 1/100 scale, is the use of screws, which I'm just like not into. It'll be fine. This is probably a good time to just mention, if you're not following me here on Twitch, now's a great time to do that. And if you're not following me on YouTube, you could follow me at youtube.com/PatBaer. That's my YouTube page. My YouTube has an archive. It's got everything from that I do here on the stream, including yesterday's bonus stream, is up there. So if you ever want to go back and look at stuff, if you came late, if you missed part of a stream, or the stream was bad, like the quality of the upstream didn't work out, then the archive, which comes from me locally, is always going to be better than the Twitch archive. Zorbs. Oh, yeah. Looking at model kits, huh? Yeah. I mean, so that's the thing. Like, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is simply because I really wanted to do more model kits. Like, I got really invested in the idea of building again. It's been a long time since I built. And I used to do a lot of small builds, the HG, the high grade stuff. So part of this is, obviously, I want to do some internet content. I like streaming. I like talking to people. I like doing stuff because I did get to hear from a few folks out there on the internet that were just like, oh, I wish you did like 4 again online or something, and like did it more often. And that show is great, and I love it. But like, it if I did it consistently, it would not sustain itself. So, I've always wanted to do build streams, and this felt like the perfect opportunity to do this and to go back and build again and chat with my audience and have some friends. I want to give a shout out to Christopher. I'm not saying your last name. That just sent me made a donation. If you want to use your Twitch username in chat and let me know that was you, Christopher, that would be awesome. I obviously won't say your last name on stream, but I appreciate that so much. I do have a donation page underneath the Twitch account. Any money that comes through that comes through my streams goes directly into fund that will buy my next kit. I always try to buy kits that will last me a couple days, or a couple streams, several streams, if possible. So by sending me some money, you're helping me to continue to build for everybody. So I really appreciate that. Following is always a great option if you don't have Cannonball Bam. That was you. Thank you so much. Genuinely, earnestly appreciate it. I sometimes have trouble sounding sincere when I'm in stream mode, because I do that thing where sometimes I end sentences like they're a question, and sometimes I don't. So I understand that if I'm sounding insincere, I do apologize, but I do genuinely appreciate it. That's very generous of you, and thank you very much for that. But yeah, subscribers, if you're inclined, if you have your Twitch token from Twitch Prime, because you linked your Amazon Prime to your Twitch, you could use that. That's an option you have. No pressure on that, obviously. Or if you wanted to use real money, well, thank you, Cannonball. I appreciate that. If you want to use real money, it's September, because Twitch has subscribers and doesn't understand what subs also could mean. It's September, which means that it's a good time to back, because you could be a subscriber for a full month and you pay half price. And being a subscriber for me, and I get the full price of my cut, and Twitch loses out on theirs because they want more subscribers. Right now, the benefit of being a subscriber is that you can see it in chat. You get this custom emote that only subscribers get. And then I'm working on a Discord. I'm going to have a Discord channel for subscribers that they can hang out in there. That'll be cool. And then once we start hitting a certain number, 2 things will happen with subscribers. 1, I will do some bonus streams where we play like Jackbox party games and stuff like that only with subscribers. And then the kind of bigger deal, the thing that I'm genuinely pretty psyched about that I'm going to do is we're at 8 subscribers right now. When we hit 25, whenever that is, I will raffle off the Shining Gundam, the first Gundam I built on stream. I'm going to raffle that off to subscribers, and then I will mail out that Gundam to a subscriber. And then eventually there'll be another milestone, and I'll do that with this Gundam. My Death Scythe I'm keeping. I'm not doing that. And then the Ghostbusters, I'll send that out as well, the Echo 1. So that's the thing I can do with subscribers when we hit milestones. Right now, like I said, I'm at 8. Once we get to 25, that's when that's going to happen. So it'll be a ways off probably. But if you're ever thinking, oh, I'd love to be a subscriber, feel free. Or if you have cheer saved up, if you watch some ads on YouTube, here on Twitch, and you want to fork over some cheer, if you use the hashtag charity when you do that, you will have some of your cheer points that would have gone to Twitch will instead go to Extra Life. So that's super cool. And I would still get my own cut. And that works with any streamer. So if you've got cheer points and you want to give them to somebody, doesn't have to be me, obviously, you'd still benefit Extra Life. I should say that I will probably make an appearance during Extra Life on some big streamer. I'm not going to do my own. This does not lend itself to hours and hours, but it does lend itself to a few hours on stream. So nothing is set in stone. Nothing is like 100% definitely happening, but I most likely will show up on somebody's stream. A big website with a lot of followers will most likely have somebody show up on stream, and I'll be there, and maybe I'll do some building with someone you already know and like on the internet. We were literally talking about that on Thursday in the chat here with someone from one of those sites. No, as I said, no guarantees on any of that. I can't make any promises that like I'm definitely gonna be on this stream during Extra Life and all that, but I would like to. It might mean that week I don't do one of my own streams because I'll be doing a stream for someone else. But we'll see. The hope is that it would all work out and I could do both. Plan is again Thursdays and Saturdays. I'm starting to think that on Saturday I might have to start later because we basically doubled the amount of people watching. Hello. If you want to say something in the chat, let me know if you're building anything, if you're watching anything. Let me know. I always like to know what people are up to in the chat, so feel free to let me know what's going on. No pressure, obviously. All right, so we have 3 screws left to put into this thing. This came together a lot faster than the last leg I did, which is great because it was really annoying. And I did it off stream, so I'm glad to have that. Okay, so we're going to put this, we're going to do this screw first, and then we will go and do the screws on this side here. Take a moment, breathe a little bit. Like I said, this is an old screwdriver, and it's kind of worn down a little bit, which is great for this kind of a deal. Not necessarily great for working with big screws, but working with smaller screws seems to do the job, so I'm not mad at it. All right, now we have these other screws that are very tiny. I'm going to try to pick them up without dropping them. I'm doing them over the crease here in this booklet, which will hopefully help me keep it in place. And as always, when you're screwing anything in, be it a model kit or anything else, you don't want to screw it all the way in at once. You want to do it a little bit each time, and then you can tighten up. Cannonball is coding at the moment, watching Dragon Ball Super. I bounced off Dragon Ball Super. I'll probably go back to it. You say you're picky about anime. I'm also pretty picky. So I was so excited about when Trunks showed up. It's not a spoiler. It's a lot of one of the arcs. It's not just like a cameo. Trunks shows up, and then like we deal with future stuff, and I love stupid future shit. So I was really into that. But oh, I'm shaking this table. That's why. I apologize for that. But once that ended and the new arc kind of started up, this whole like tournament. I I've said it. I said it tonight in this stream. I love a good tournament. Um, but I just like kind of bounced off Super. I'll probably go back to it, or someone will tell me, "Oh, this thing happened. You gotta," or whatever. But yeah, I was in it for Super Saiyan Super. I wanted to know what that meant. I wanted to know what that could mean. But yeah, I just like kind of got less invested than one would assume I would be. A guy like me would be more invested, but I wasn't. All right, so making some progress here. We got our screws in. Uh, they're dragging the tournament along. Yeah, that's what I figured. So our screwdriver we're done with for today. We will most likely not get to the part of the torso where we need to use that in the next 55 minutes, or no, sorry, 35 minutes or so. Not 55. I can't keep going that long, but we'll do some more. We're not done yet by any means. All right, so we got that. We're gonna put this on here. Snap that on. Great. So we got our leg. Our leg is coming together. Yeah, the pre-universe tournament stuff I was into as well. Once the tournament started really kicking off, I just kind of, oh, I didn't watch it this week. Oh, I didn't watch it this week either. And then you're like, am I gonna keep watching this or not? That's how I get anyway when I get behind on a show. Like I said earlier about Himiko Note. Himiko Note just became the show that I didn't care about and didn't follow through on. I just dropped a piece, which is really annoying. So I have to go pick up a piece that I dropped on the floor, but I can see it, which is great, so that I don't have to get out of my chair to pick it up. Hooray! It's always nice when that happens, when that's the outcome, and not the alternative, which is getting up out of my chair. I will say this. One time when I dropped something here on one of these streams, couldn't find it on the floor. Turned out it was just on my chair because it was black. So Cannonball, we talked about anime a little bit before. This season of My Hero Academia is great. I know that more people have picked it up once it moved to Crunchyroll because the first season wasn't available on there for a while, and so now people are checking out My Hero Academia and watching it on watching the second season. The second season is excellent. I really recommend it. Thunderbolt Fantasy. I never watched that. I should check that out. Yeah. The show that I'm watching now, that I'm watching every week, is New Game, the second season of New Game. It's got 2 exclamation points. The first season had 1. It should be called New Game Plus. You're right. If it's an anime about a game studio making video games, then they should have named the second season New Game Plus, and they didn't name it that. They named it New Game, 2 exclamation points. And that's their goof. They really messed it up. Really shit the bed on that one, as they say. But yeah, that's the anime I'm watching a lot of. And I bring up In Another World with my cell phone, which I don't necessarily recommend for people. It is a power fantasy. He's amazing at everything. This last episode, he takes out a lot of zombie, with like one move, and the people around him were like, At this point, it's not. It's like at this point, it's not like they basically comment that like, it's like almost not impressive that you're so good at this, because he's a kid from the modern world that accidentally got murdered, um, and God wouldn't put him back in his own body, and I don't know why. And the kid doesn't really rag on God about that, like, well, wait, why can't I be back in my own body? So instead, God puts him in a new body in this other world, that's a fantasy world ish, like what we call a fantasy world. And he's got his cell phone, and so he can do things with that. And then God like souped him up and gave him like all magic abilities instead of like some magic abilities that he should have. He has all of them. So he's like just like an over. He's basically like a god. Um, it's kind of cool, but also kind of a lame show. Because like I said, it's such a fantasy show and such a wish fulfillment show, um, that I can understand why some people would hate it. But I like it. It's fine enough. There's a teddy bear named Paula that walks around. It's pretty okay. He's got an animal companion that he can speak with telepathically, that sometimes sasses him. That's fun. So this part sucks. This part sucks. I got to do all this work. So Cannonball. So it's different from Sword Art Online in that Sword Art Online is, uh, uh, everyone is from our world and trapped in a magical like fantasy world. In this, the fantasy world is real to them. It's their world that they live in. It's more like, I'm going to move this like this. It's more like he just is like has more info than they do. Like they're in Essen, which is just kind of like Japan. So he knows a lot about the customs of that place because he's from a place that like similar. And they're like, "Oh, you know a lot about this place." And he's like, "Yeah, weird." So it's not like SAO in that regard. Um, yeah, it's just like, and it's similar in the fact that like the main character is just fucking overpowered badass that like doesn't worry about it. He's got a harem. It's a harem anime. They like have so many characters now that they have like a bunch. They had a few of them take a break during this episode because they were like, "Oh, we don't need all these people." All right, so we got that piece assembled. It was annoying. I don't even think I did it 100% right. It's probably right. It's fine. It's done enough. All right, let's move on. We're gonna try to make this look like this. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other anime that's really got me going right now. I don't think so. A. These are all A pieces. Wait. Oh, okay. C, D, and A is what I need. Okay. Took me a second there to figure out what they meant. That's D. That's D. This is C. This is C. And then A is this one. And we'll wait on A for a second. And do this first. Cannonball in the chat asked me if I am playing anything right now. Yesterday, as for some of you were here for it, I believe, I did a Hearthstone stream. Still a big Hearthstone person. That is still a true fact about me. I also have been playing Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I'm terrible at it, and I do not stream that. One, because my computer can barely, not this laptop that I use for this, but my desktop can barely handle PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, let alone the idea of me streaming it. I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. And that's it right now. I'm not playing anything else. I was traveling some and just yeah. There's so many great games out there for people. I haven't picked up anything new in a bit. Um, I will. I'll grab something soon, but right now that's it. That's all I'm playing. Haven't picked up. Uh, I guess everybody's all excited about it, and I'm glad they're excited about it. I'm glad that this Destiny is the Destiny that they wanted with Destiny 1, or it's like more of the Taken King. And I'm glad that people are fucking psyched as hell about that. But it's not like I'm not gonna. When it comes out on PC, I'm not getting Destiny 2 because it's just like not what I want. Uh, and so yeah, so I'm not gonna get it. I'm happy for people, like I said. I'm happy that people really like it. I'm happy that this game is their jam. It's just not my jam, so I'm gonna skip it. I mean, I have a backlog of stuff. Like, I bought the re-release of the PC version of Vanquished. I bought that, and I haven't played it yet, and it's really making me mad because I really want to play that. Like, I purchased it. I loved Vanquish. It's a great B game. Uh, so I've been meaning to play because I spent money on it, but meaning to play the PC version of Vanquish, and just haven't yet. A lot of my daytime stuff right now has been busy, and my evenings I work most nights. Now I stream on some nights that I don't work. Um, so I haven't been able to get out there and play games as much as I would like, which is why I play a lot of Hearthstone, because Hearthstone is like, oh, I'm here at work. I set up work, and but we haven't started yet, so I have the time to do something else. So yeah, a lot of times when I get to work, I'm just like uh, doing all my setup, and before the shows start, I'll whip out my iPad mini and play a couple games of Hearthstone. That's a great, like, waiting for something game. For me anyway. I'll probably play it on stream at another point. I did enjoy playing it on stream. So I'll probably do that at some point again. Because like I said, I liked it. So none of my comedy shows, Cannonball has asked if I stream any of my shows. So none of my shows are streamed. I predominantly perform at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York, and one of the reasons why we've been successful is because we keep costs low, because we want butts in seats. That has always been the thing. Like, some people say, like, hey, how come you don't stream all your shows? And the answer is that we want you to come to it live. And I know that means that for a lot of people, it means they'll never see it. Um, and so I do understand that. That's why I like anytime I go to any convention or festival, I always film it. The wrestling shows that I do here in New York, not League of Heels, my own comedy wrestling league, we used to film our big events. Our videographer moved, and we have not replaced it with a different person, which we should. It's kind of silly that we haven't. We need to get on that. Um, but yeah, none of my comedy stuff right now is being streamed or filmed. Um, but yeah, the next 404 get will be at GamerX East, which is in November. And then that same month, 404ing it will also be at, most likely, they haven't approved it, but at this point, I can say that it'll happen. I will be doing 404ing it at PAX Unplugged in Philly. I submitted. Those folks really like me, so the PAX folks, and it's a new festival, so like I can't imagine they aren't going to take. They aren't going to. I don't imagine they're going to be like, no, we're going to pass on a show that we like and we always put up every time. I mean, it's possible they could do that. I just think that it's a little unlikely. All right, I'm trying to get this leg armor on. I apologize for slowing down a little bit here. All right, that went on. That looks good. Let's do the other side. That's the front. We just did this on the other leg, so you'd think I would just be like wham bam boom, but I'm not like that. Instead, I'm taking my time. I'm going to snip a piece off this. All right, that should make this snap on a little easier. And then we'll keep moving with our builds. We'll start working on the head. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna finish up our leg by putting the front piece on here. That's snapped on like that. And then we have a couple more pieces we gotta do here. We gotta do a C piece and a B piece and a C piece, which are this piece. And then a B piece is here, which is here. Zorbs just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Zorbs. I really appreciate it. That's awesome of you. Thank you so much for that. That really helps me continue to do this stream because, as you can imagine, there were a lot of upfront costs when it comes to doing a show like this. I purchased a second webcam. You still have to buy your kits, blah, blah, blah. There's a few other things that ended up happening. Like, I bought a lamp when I moved into this room. It was too dark in here. So, oh, excuse me, sorry. So I had to buy a lamp for the room, which, I got, and I'm happy. I'm happy I have. But, yeah, there's just a bunch of stupid costs when it comes to doing streams like this. So I'm very happy when anytime I can get the support like that. So it's very nice of you, and thank you very much. Trying to find a piece here that I can't yet. So here we go. All right. Finishing touches on this leg, and then we can move on to the head. We'll start on the head. I believe I snipped off the wrong piece. Yes, I did. So that's what happened. So I got excited because Zorb subscribed that I snipped the wrong piece off, which is fine. I'll just put it in the box, and then when I can't find it, I'll go, what happened? And I'll look in the box and find it. So it's no big deal. That's why it's great to keep that box around for stupid stuff like that when I screw up something simple. Oh, gotta snip this down. Huh. Well, I'll tell you this, folks. I'm not going to do a bonus stream for a while. 3 days streaming in a row. I know that there are folks out there that this is their life. This is their livelihood. They stream 5 nights a week or 6 nights a week or every night. They do 4-hour, 6-hour streams, and more power to them. But it was a little easier to do in a game stream because there was a lot more happening than just me building and talking. But I'll tell you what, this is not easy. I like doing it a lot. I'm going to keep doing it. I wouldn't have become I wouldn't have partnered up if I didn't want to keep doing stuff like this, because that wouldn't make any sense. But it can be a lot. This like 3 days in a row is a lot of talking. And put that there. Oh, nope, didn't want to do it. Why doesn't this want to do it? Do it. There we go. It did it. Didn't want it to at first, but it got it. All right, great. So now we have both our legs are done. We got both our legs done. We got both of our arms done previously. We're ready to move on. We're turning the page. We're gonna build. We're gonna build a torso. We're gonna build a chest cavity. We're gonna build a head. I'm very happy that we're not starting with the head because we are running down. We're gonna do another 15 minutes of the stream. Very, very happy. We do that. Pull this down a little bit. Speaking of pulling it down, but there's like, cause there's another screw left for me to do. It's like the last screw I have, so I'm glad that today was the day I screwed a bunch of stuff together and that I don't have to worry about it again. But I'm also glad I don't have to work on the head because the head is so tiny, the pieces are so small that like I don't feel comfortable doing that. But we have the body and the head and then the wings left. So I think we're gonna finish on Thursday. So I might have to buy a kit before Thursday. I don't think we're gonna finish, but like on Saturday we're gonna start our next build. I think I'm fairly certain, unless the wings become really hard to do, which they could. But yeah, I think we're gonna get pretty far in our next build. So Zorbs, the nice thing is they give you one extra screw of each kind. It's mostly just about like it's delicate work, and I don't like doing it. It's not that it's incredibly hard. And then I guess what I would do is I would steal one. I would have to take this apart, Zorbs, and take one of the screws out of the legs and reuse it because there's two types of screws. There's only like two kinds of screws. So if I had to, I would just take one and repurpose it, which is not ideal at all. But I would want the torso. This last screw we're going to do, which is for the torso here, it's important to have. So to keep everything together. So I would, if I had to, make amends and fix something, but the hope is that we don't have to. All right, that's so then F4. Sorry, oh, it's really tiny, so I couldn't see it. Yeah, they give you extra screws, which is good, because that is bad otherwise. All right. Okay. That there is a really tiny piece. So I'm not psyched about that. And then C15. It's D. That's D. This is C. 15 is the other C page. Haven't used C15. Sorry, I got quiet right there. All right, so we're gonna keep moving on this. We'll keep going on our torso. Well, we'll see. I think everything's gonna be cool, y'all. Just doing stuff like this always makes me a little nervous. All right, so this goes into this here. That makes a lot of sense. Great. This goes to this. Locks that in place. It's very helpful. Okay. So yeah, so we're putting the crotch on, and then we'll build off the crotch and up and out, which is perfect. And C 17. All right. We're making some sweet moves here. Look at that. That's fun. Okay, so that was step 25. We're building up and out. Okay, up and out, up and out. All right. So, lots of F pieces. Great. F 31. And yeah, so the plans for the rest of the week, folks, as we wrap up, we're going to about 10 minutes or so left on the stream. We'll keep going. We're going to keep working on this. But we'll be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. Doing our builds, making it happen, feeling pretty good about that. We will maybe wrap this up on Thursday. If not, we'll do it the following Saturday. And I will let everyone know if I decide to do a later start on Saturday, because it looks like a lot of people would like that. So I might do a later start on Saturday. I got a question in the chat from Zorbs. Do the kits come with stands? Stands are separate. There are no stands. They are pictured a lot with stands, but those are things you purchase separately. I believe the Perfect Gundams might come with stands, but the Master Grade and High Grade do not. 2021. So yeah, so if you want to display them on a stand, you can buy them separately and put them together separately yourself. And then that's that one. That's this one. That's the base. That. That's the top. Like that. And then looks like we're building like the cockpit, I guess. And then 39 is there it is. You'd think they'd be in number order left to right, but they're not on this one, which is one of the few times that exists. Usually they're very good about like 1 and to cross, and then, you know, whatever, to 35. This one has not been like that, and so it's give me a little bit of pause now and again. Nothing we can't handle, but I believe this is our neck joint here. All right, so this does not want to. Oh, that's why. Great. So there's our neck piece, and there'll be some snapping and such with that in a bit. Put on these. This will help with our, which is part of our arms. Like I said, this is very similar to the very first kit we did, the Shining Gundam. So it's been nice and easy to put this together like this, because I remember how that worked. Great, and that snaps on, holding these in place. I got a little extra here. I'm going to snip off. Great. So that happened there, and then let's try to get this finished and assembled and get our very last screw of the kit put together, and then we'll wrap up there. So that goes there. Oh, we got to make this thing. That's another bunch of F's and some C's. F1 and F2. And F27. Starting to use up all of these F's, so you'd think it'd be a little easier to find the pieces, but also goes to show how tired I am, that it's not as easy. And great, so we do that. Okay, and then F1 and F2 here. we are building like the front skirt of the Gundam. Now, these are our like accent pieces here. F1 and F2, and then C19 and C18, which is right here. And we'll just assemble these. This is C18, which is on this side, and C19, which is on this side. Great, nice and easy. We're getting some of this done pretty fast, which is great because I want to get this torso part completed before we wrap up for the night. We'll do this. Great, that looks good. That looks good. And this snaps on like that. Okay. And that snaps on like just a little snip. And that snaps on. There we go. Great. Got it. Took a second there, but we did it. All right, so this goes on the front of our kata. What's up? Let me go and look at that. Glitzy P. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it very much. All right, so that's there. Okay, so let's get torso done, and we'll get our neck pieces done. We got more F's and a B piece here, and a screw that I don't want to deal with, but we will. As I said, the last screw for me to deal with, because I kind of can't wait. F34. I'm like rushing through this just to finish it. This part. F34, and I need B6, and then I need F33. This piece. Almost done with F, which is great. Because when we start finishing with these and we can start tossing them, it means we're getting closer to finishing our build. All right, I have to find B, which is this. And we're looking for B6, which is this circular right here. We nailed it. And that. And that is done. All right. So I'm going to look at this here. It's a weird thing. Like, I guess they explain it in the photo how this piece snaps together, but I nailed it. I got it. I'm done. All right, so we got a neck piece here that goes on this. And then the head will attach to that later. Not now, obviously, because we don't have a head yet. We will. We don't have a head yet. Actually, that didn't go right. So what I just did was, this is the neck piece. I put it on the torso piece, not the head piece, or the neck piece there. So I just screwed that up, and now I have to try to undo that. Pretty stupid mistake, if you ask me. So I'm going to take this apart a little bit in order to reassemble it properly. So this is a simple, easy, stupid mistake that I made, but I should be able to undo it Yes, I did. Hooray. Okay, that was really dumb. That was just like a really goober mistake on my part. Because that was supposed to go up here. There. And then you can see there's still room for the head to attach later. All right, so now we can redo our build here real quick. We'll fix the mistakes that we've made. And then we will wrap up in just a moment or two once I get this together and then find the screw I need and then attach that screw. Like I said, I'll be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Next Saturday, I might do 9 to 10:30 Eastern. Seems like I got a bunch of people joining me right at the end, which is rad. But so I might do a later stream on Saturday. I can't do a later stream on Thursday because I have a show that I produce, so I have to leave my apartment at 10 o'clock Eastern, so can't do that. But I might be able to do, might be pretty easy for me to swing a later show on Saturday, if that means that more people can watch, which obviously is the reason I'm doing this, is so that people watch the streams. So, okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this here, and we're going to put this there. So that these two pieces are going to lock together on that, and then I'm going to shove a screw in the back and then put a nut on the other side. So let's find what I need here. I've got two sizes for the nuts, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one out, see if it's the right one. If it's not, then I will dig into the other tiny. I got two tiny bags with screws, so I will. If it's not this one, it's the other one. So let me figure that out first here. It is this one. Great. So then it is the largest of our screws. And I do have a backup of this in case something goes very wrong. There is a secondary one. But hopefully it will go very, very right. So we'll make sure we're doing this correctly. I'm lining everything up. I'm making sure that I have everything the way I want it. That, and then I dropped it. I'm dropping stuff, which means I should stop. We're going to finish this, and then I'm going to stop as soon as this screw is in. We'll finish up the stream with the completion of this, combining the torso and the chest. I'm going to get real quiet for a second. Not real quiet, but I'm going to get quieter for a second. Okay. So it's snapped together. So we got that part done. Now we put the screw, the washer there. Nut, I should say. Not a washer, that's a nut. Then this is the most tension-filled part of this build, is just getting this stupid thing done, because I don't want to keep doing it. And I don't want to mess this up on stream. I don't want it to fall apart on me. I don't want to lose any of these pieces. I just want it to work right now. Oops. This is why I don't like doing this kind of kit that has screws on stream, as you can tell, that sometimes this snapping things together, I'm already screwing up. So when we put in the ability to, the need for a screwdriver, I'm just getting worried about that. So, okay. And we did it. Great. Tighten it up real tight so I'd never have to do it again. So that's the framework. We're going to build it out. We're going to add pieces to the front, to the bottom. Our legs will snap on there. Our skirt will be there. Our arms will eventually go into this with some modifications. I'm sure there's some extra steps. But as you can see, we are going to wrap up for tonight. I want to thank you all for coming in. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If that's something you like to do, follow if you haven't followed. Please do that. There's a Ko-fi page, as you can say, Cannonball. We already had a one cool person give me a little bit of money that will go towards just buying more kits and doing more streams. So yeah, if you like this, Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern is the next one. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your weekends. And good night.